morning. I had a very powerful message come through last night that I wanted to share with all of you. So yesterday I got an update about the status of my health that I wasn't super happy about. Basically for the last month and a half, I've just been dealing with some vitamin and mineral imbalances that have been leading to some negative and chronic physical symptoms in my body that haven't been making me feel my best. And I got my blood work redone this week, and I got the results yesterday, and my levels have gotten worse over the last couple weeks instead of better. So that was some disappointing news to hear, and I was really processing through that yesterday. And while I was processing through that, last night I decided to do some mindful coloring. I have a couple adult coloring books that help me to just focus my mind on something creative. So I was coloring in one of my coloring books, and in the background I put on a YouTube video by Louise Hay. If you haven't heard of Louise Hay, she is amazing. She's a motivational and mindset speaker who's all about sharing how we can heal our own bodies. And I love listening to her wisdom. So I was listening to that in the background as I was coloring. And she was talking about how our mindset creates our reality, which is something I've heard so many times, and how our thoughts create our reality and how the words we use matter. And then something dropped in for me. A download dropped in for me in the form of 2 words. And those 2 words were too much. Too much. And those 2 words, it was just like a light bulb went off in my head. I know one of the reasons I've been struggling with these persistent physical ailments, like these muscle pains and these joint pains, is because I have been perpetuating this message in the words that I've been speaking and the thoughts that I've been thinking, that lately life has been too much. Ever since me and my husband made the decision to move to Michigan, ever since that decision, I've been talking about how life is feeling like too much lately. You know, we made that decision to move, and then after that, the aftermath of all the things that come from that, like having to make decisions about when we're going to move, when we're actually going to physically move, when we're going to start packing up everything here, what new furniture we're going to buy, you know, all these decisions. I've been commenting to not only myself and my own mind, but to my friends and family, that things have been feeling like too much. Like there's so many decisions to make, too many decisions to make, too much going on. And then lately, I shared a video about how there's been a lot of violence and death happening in my life and in my communities and in my circles. And I've been saying lately to myself how it just feels like there's been too much pain and too much violence, and that's perpetuating a feeling of too much stress, not only from the life events going on, but from the move. And, you know, everything has been too much. I've been saying I'm under too much stress. I'm having too many decisions to make. I have too much to do. There is too much violence going on. There is too much. And having that insight that I've been using that word so much was really powerful to me, because what my blood work results are showing me is that there's too much of levels going on. And that totally aligns with what I've been experiencing in my physical body, from the thoughts that I've been thinking, from the way that I've been perceiving what's going on in life and over the last month and a half. So that really is a powerful connection to make when you realize that your words and your thoughts, the things that you think, the words that you verbally say out loud, are going to help dictate what plays out in your reality. So now I'm grateful for this insight, because now I could catch myself in these moments and kind of stop myself in my tracks and allow myself to reconsider the words and the thoughts that I'm wanting to think and the reality that I'm wanting to create. And are these words and thoughts in favor of what I want to see in my life? And I think that's just a really powerful lesson, and that's something that everybody can be reminded of, is the fact that our thoughts that we think and the words that we say do create our reality. So if your life is playing out right now in a way that is not in your favor, and things are playing out in your life that you do not find enjoyable or aren't making you feel good or making you feel happy, then consider this an opportunity to do a personal audit of the words and thoughts that you've been using and thinking. And maybe you'll find yourself that there's a pattern that you've been perpetuating that isn't serving you, that maybe you need to change your verbiage around. I know for me, it's definitely something I need to do now, and I'm really grateful for that insight and download that dropped in, so that now I can approach things differently moving forward. I could start using different words and thinking different thoughts that are going to be more favorable for me in order to experience the healing that I'm wanting to feel in my physical body. So that's the message today. I hope it was helpful. Give it a like if it was helpful for you, if you learned something today. And as always, thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See you next time.